Queen's Gambit declined, modern, knight defense, Manhattan, Westphalian variation. Giveaway. One player was winning, but then gave it away. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. The middle game battle was fairly even. The players battled pretty evenly in the end game. Opening with the queen's pawn. The move d5 establishes control over the e4 square, frees up the light-squared bishop, and builds a presence in the center. The d4 pawn is safeguarded and the knight advances toward the center with nf3. nf6 controls the e4 square and defends the d5 pawn. c4 gains space on the queen side, prepares to develop the knight to c3, and invites black to give up control of the e4 square after dx c4. The d5 pawn is protected by e6 while the dark squared bishop can advance. nc3 develops the knight, attacks the d5 pawn and controls the e4 square. bb4 develops the bishop and pins the c3 knight. By pinning a knight, this increases pressure. This develops a knight from its starting square, activating it. A pawn that was being attacked and had no defenses is now protected by this. This hits in the middle and prevents the opponent from gaining ground. It is a fair deal after all captures. Recaptures. By growing a bishop from its initial square, this activates it. This activates a queen by developing it off of its starting square. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling kingside tends to be safer because the king is further from the center. It is the last book move. This keeps the material balance in check with good commerce. It is quite good. Backs off. It is ideal. This strikes the opponent's bishop. It is ideal. The bishop is now in a secure position. It is ideal. Although the game was nearly tied, black is now in a losing position. It is incorrect. This is the only good move. This took advantage of a mistake and white now has a winning advantage. It is a great move. A better technique to recapture a piece is missed by this. It is incorrect. There was only one good move in that position. It is a mistake. This evades the check from the queen. This is the only good move. This was a game-changing move. Black is no longer in a losing position. It is a great move. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. Backs off. It is ideal. This misses a chance to gain a pawn. It is incorrect. This misses a chance to protect a pawn that was being attacked. It is incorrect. This poses a material threat. It is ideal. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. By posing a threat to a queen and compelling it to flee, this wins a tempo. It is ideal. This suggests exchanging items of equivalent value. It is ideal. This is an equal trade. This is the only move that works. It is best. Recaptures. It is ideal. This places a rook on the 7th rank, activating it and putting the other side's king under pressure. It is ideal. A pawn is therefore left defenseless. It is incorrect. That pawn was available for free. It is ideal. This overlooks a more effective approach to sidestep the enemy rook's check. It is incorrect. It was a free pawn there. It is ideal. This confines the opponent's king while also moving a rook to the 7th rank, activating it. It is ideal. That pawn was available for free. That's good. As a result, the rooks are placed in a single file and are able to cooperate to pose a danger. It is ideal. What I would have advised is that. It is ideal. This is not the best approach. It is incorrect. Although white lost their edge, the game is still almost evenly matched. It is incorrect. There was just one smart move to be made. This misses the chance to provide an equitable exchange of pieces. That falls flat. This misses a chance to pose a pawn-winning threat. That falls flat. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. Backs off. White is equal at this point in the endgame. It is ideal. Very precise. It is best. This poses a fork-piece threat. It is ideal. A passing pawn could be promoted as a result of this. This gives the adversary the opportunity to promote a passed pawn. It is incorrect. This missed a move that would have produced a winning advantage. This misses an opportunity to push a passed pawn towards promotion. It is a miss. This moves away from the knight in shining armor. It is ideal. The pawn is now passed because it can no longer be opposed as it attempts to promote by other pieces. A passing pawn could be promoted as a result of this. It is ideal. This pushes a passed pawn. This threatens to win a rook. It is best. Thus, a pawn is lost. A passing pawn could be promoted as a result of this. It is a mistake. It was a free pawn there. It is ideal. A passing pawn could be promoted as a result of this. It is ideal. There was only one move that was effective, and this wasn't it? This misses a chance to trample a knight. It is incorrect. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. This is the only good move. It is a great move. This requires an outpost, a square that is currently in play where a pawn cannot push the knight off. It is ideal. This avoids the knight's check. It is ideal. A pawn that was being attacked and had no defenses is now protected by this. That's good. This is a missed chance to imply that winning a rook is possible. It is incorrect. This protects a knight who was being attacked and lacked defense. A passing pawn could be promoted as a result of this. It is ideal. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. A rook is positioned behind a passed pawn as a result, assisting in its promotion. That's good. This ignores an opportunity to defend a knight that was under attack. This permits the opponent to take an outpost with the knight. It is an inaccuracy. The knight is now located at an outpost, a safe area inside the enemy's territory. It is ideal. The game was almost evenly matched, but black is now worse. It is incorrect. This defends the attacked pawn. This is the only good move. It is a great move. As a result, the adversary may promote a passed pawn. It is incorrect. The moved pawn advances toward its objective. It is ideal. That's a decent move. That's good. A passed pawn is pushed by this. It is quite good. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. It's alright. That's good. This avoids the rook's check. It's compelled. This exposes a pawn attack. It is ideal. A pawn that was being attacked and had no defenses is now protected by this. It is quite good. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. That's a decent move. That's good. A passed pawn is pushed by this. It is quite good. What I would have advised is that. It is ideal. The pawn is now suitably protected. It is ideal. It's alright. That's good. Very precise. It is best. This keeps the material balance in check with good commerce. It is ideal. Recaptures. It is ideal. Among the best actions. It is quite good. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. That is a logical response. It is quite good. A wise decision. It is quite good. A powerful play. It is quite good. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. That's a decent move. That's good. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. Though not the best move technically, it was interesting. It is quite good. Backs off. It is ideal. This moves away from the knight in shining armor. It is ideal. This reveals a rook attack. That's good. The rook is now on a square that is more secure. It is quite good. Among the best actions. It is quite good. This moves the checking rook farther away. It is ideal. What I would have advised is that. It is ideal. This exchange is fair. It is quite good. Very precise. It is best. This avoids the rook's check. It is ideal. This defends the attacked pawn. It is best. That is a logical response. It is quite good. A solid choice. It is excellent. Giveaway one player was winning, but then gave it away. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. The middle game battle was fairly even. The players battled pretty evenly in the end game.